Welcome students to the next module of the chapter. Here we'll be basically focusing on the sums based on first law. Let's take the first question. Question says helium gas absorbs 3.3497 into 10 raised to 3 joules of heat. So if I simultaneously write the given data, the first thing which is given is absorbing that much amount of heat. Heat is represented by Q. If we put the value as 3.3497 into 10 raised to 3, which can be written as 3349.7 joules, and it expands from 7.5 dm cube to 22.5 dm cube. If you see the units carefully, it's the unit of volume. That means the initial volume is given as 7.5 dm cube. The final volume is given as 22.5 dm cube. And if we once again see the question, against a constant pressure, that means P external value has been given as 1.216 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square, and we have been told to calculate that is nothing but delta U. That is, calculate the change in internal energy. Now the question is basically, what's the formula? The formula is delta U is equal to Q plus W, but the value of W is not directly given, so we have to use the formula of W. Now W has two formula. Either we have to use the formula of W is equal to minus P delta V or W max, but in the question isothermal and reversible conditions are not mentioned, so we cannot use the formula of W max, so we have to use the formula of W as minus P delta V. Substituting that value in the formula, we get W or delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V, which is there. Now let's first calculate whether every units are given in the proper terms. That means the value of Q or the unit of Q is given in joules. So if we are adding or subtracting pressure and volume term, it has to be also in joules. So to get the value of P delta V, that is W in joules, the pressure has to be either in Newton per meter square or pascals. Now in the given data, the pressure is already there in Newton per meter square. And if we see the volume parameter, the given parameter is in dm cube, that is liters, but we have to keep the volume terms in meter cube, which is there. That means we have to convert, and we have to convert from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, and that is why V1 will be converted as 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube, and V2 value is 22.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube, which is there. Now everything is there in the proper format. Let's once again substitute everything in the formula. Delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V. Delta V can be written as V2 minus V1. The Q value or the Q term was 3349.7. Pressure was, that is 1.216 into 10 raised to plus 5, and difference in volume was 22.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus 7.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. Subtracting the volume term, we'll get the answer as 15 into 10 raised to minus 3. Multiplying that volume term to the pressure, we get the answer as 18.24 into 10 raised to plus 2. If we put that plus 2 parameter inside, we get the value as 1824, and when we simply subtract the terms, we get our final answer as 1525.7 joules. Let's quickly take certain MCQs. The first question says, in a closed insulated container, a liquid is stirred with a pedal to increase the temperature. Which of the following parameters are true? And there are certain sets of parameters. Let's once again take a close look at the question. A question says insulated container. Whenever the system is under insulated condition, that means Q is equal to 0. If you check the second term, that is stirred and to increase the temperature. If the solution is constantly stirred, that means there is work done. If there is work done, that means W is not equal to 0. And if W is not equal to 0, that means delta U is also not equal to 0. So we have to see where all this option fits. Q is equal to 0 and delta U and W is not equal to 0. And if you carefully see, our correct option is option A. Let's take the second question. Question says 1 mole of an ideal gas at 300 Kelvin is expanded isothermally from initial volume of 1 liter to 10 liters. Calculate delta U. So the formula of delta U is Q plus W. So generally we try to put the values and calculate, but whenever in the question one word is mentioned, that is isothermal condition. Remember students, under isothermal condition, delta T is 0, and if delta T is 0, delta U directly becomes 0, so no need to calculate. Our option is option B, that's 0. The third question says, a gas absorbs 250 joules of heat and expands from 1 liter to 10 liter at a constant temperature against the external pressure of 0.5 atmospheres. What are the values of Q, W and delta U. Now, the first thing is absorbs 250 joules of heat. That means Q value is positive because it is absorbing. And if you carefully check the options where first value is positive, there is only one option, that is option B. That means directly we got our answer. But let's calculate the rest of the terms which are there. W. Now to calculate W, that's the second parameter, we have a formula of W as minus P delta V. Now since the question doesn't mention isothermal and reversible, we have to stick to this equation. Now the pressure unit is atmospheres and the volume unit is liters which are there. So substituting that terms directly, we'll get the answer of work done as minus 4.5 liter atmospheres. But check the units, students. None of the units says liter atmosphere. So we have to convert into joules. And the conversion factor is 101.3. By converting that, we get the work done answer as minus 455.85. And the last parameter which we have to calculate is delta U, whose formula is very simple as Q plus W. We already know Q, we already know W. Substituting the parameters, we'll get the answer as minus 205.85 joules which are there. So when we check the correct options is B. This is what we'll be doing in this module. Till the time, thank you.